Gotta turn my sound up here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear
Loud
you.
and clear, sir. Go
Oh,
right
there you
ahead,
go.
sir.
Yeah, okay, great. I can hear you guys better too. All right, all right. Hey, man, it's good to see you all.
It's
Man.
good to be seen, sir. We're on
Hey,
live, so go right ahead whenever you're ready, kind sir.
all right. Well, very good. Welcome to the Writers' Wordshop. Hey, I'm Nathaniel Gaston, and I see Brother Neil Owens, and of course, Reverend Chris Thomas is on the air. Man who has the plan, the head of and founder of The Voice, 1704 Harrisburg. Brother Chris, how's everything?
I'm doing very well, sir. It's good to see you this evening. It's a blessing to see spring almost sprung in the city of Harrisburg.
Amen to that. Amen to that. So tell me, what's going on with The Voice lately? Anything new? Any new shows on, or anything like that?
Actually, new TV programs. Actually, we just opened up a new network, the Big Heart Network. It's a young lady out of the Harrisburg area. And she is very connected as far as the artists that are in Harrisburg, the secular artists. So it's called the Big Heart Network. It's on voicetv.org. We have a couple programs that are in the workings, but nothing cemented as of yet. But actually, picked up a lot of work building websites for clients. So I think
Oh,
I'm
nice. You
Mm,
still there? Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
in the
that's
past 2 months. So
Uh,
we get
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Excellent, excellent. Real quick, now can you bring up your Voice TV? What is it called? What's it called again?
sure.
Voice TV, right?
voicetv.org. Yes, sir.
And can you bring up the
voicetv.org.
workshop?
Again, it's sir,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Can you bring up workshop, Life Esteem? Can you show
Yes,
us?
sir. Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Let me see if I could, as long as my screen share cooperates with us. I got a
Let
couple
people know
windows
it's
open in the
there.
background here. Yes, sir. Actually, I just put a new coat of paint, actually on the website,
You said
in
new
the
coat
past
of
month or
paint.
so.
Okay.
And go ahead. I'm sorry. Actually,
You
just
said,
just redesigning the color schemes and
I got
everything
you.
to make a better presentation.
Okay.
But actually, in the past 30 days, we've had 16,000 views from the social media,
Wow.
and over 3,000 in the past 30 days, just to the TV channel itself. So we're very
Nice.
grateful
Okay.
that it is still alive and thriving.
Mm.
So here we go. Let's see if my screen share is going to cooperate with us here. I got a couple other windows open in the back. I hope that doesn't interfere. So this is actually, let me know when you see it here. This is actually the new landing page of
Okay. I don't hear you right now. I don't know if you just muted or okay. Unleash your imagination. Voice
yeah.
TV.
See it.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Dr. Gas?
I see it now. Yeah. You were kind of going in and out your voice. I don't know if that had any.
Yeah, I got a couple different windows open in the
Okay.
background, so it may be kind of hard because there's a lot of moving, scrolling things on the website to try to do it via Zoom this way. But I can
Okay.
give it a shot. Can you see it? Is everything moving or am I frozen?
No, you're moving right now. Yep.
Okay, so this is actually the landing page of Voice TV or Video Distribution Network. It's actually its second year in running.
Hmm.
Actually, if you scroll down from the front page, you'll actually see the TV player. It'll pop up here in a second, just
Yep.
like your TV that's at your home, either Xfinity. It's playing in the background, even though no one's watching it until someone decides to watch it. So when you
Hmm.
decide to watch it, you go to voicetv.org. You'll see actually the first channel that pops up is our Voice Community channel, which gives a nice cross section of all the different programming that we have on our community based platform. And look what pops up automatically. You see
Yeah.
you and Mr. Kava and Damali Brunson actually being
Yeah.
interviewed on your Life Esteem TV. So it's actually kind of, I didn't set that up to turn out that way. It just happened
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. That's good though because
Um,
that's something coming up too. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. So if you actually go down here in the corner, in the bottom left corner, you can actually scroll the different channels we have on our network. And if you
Mm.
scroll down, you'll see Life Esteem,
Yeah.
which is like the fifth channel down here. You click on that, you see your logo pop up, and you can cast this to your TV. You can cast this, to your Bluetooth devices if you're on the go. Or if
Okay.
you're at home and you want to watch it not on a phone, but you want to watch it actually on your television, you could do that
Oh wow.
as well.
Okay.
Not sure um, with the Zoom window open here, it may be running a little bit slow. But I encourage listeners and viewers to check it out. VoiceTV.org, 24/7, 365 presence
I see.
on the World Wide Web. I'm sorry, sir. Go
I
right
see the
ahead.
right. Oh, you told it right. I saw the writer's workshop. I don't know if you can pull that up or not, but that's
Yeah, I can, but I think with it on Zoom here, it's gonna act kind of
it's
quirky
acting kind
because
of, yeah. That's all right.
I have the videos open and then we're trying to zoom that
Yeah,
as
don't
well.
worry
Some
about it.
works
Don't worry about it.
better
But I saw, yeah, we saw where it is though. So Voice TV, okay.
VoiceTV.org.
.org. Okay,
when
voicetv.org.
it's not
Yeah,
competing with other
good
apps
stuff. Gotta
at
keep
the way that it
pushing
should. But if
that.
you check it out, it would
All
operate
about.
correctly. TV.org. So here we go, the Writers Workshop channel here. Uh,
We don't see it just
and
yet.
there's
Might
actually
pop up. Let me
should be
see.
coming.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Oh,
There's
okay.
Wendy.
So this is Yeah, this is actually Sister Wendy on the Writers Workshop channel interviewing Brother Lyndon Kirkland. And actually, we've had several requests for you to have him back as a guest because of the knowledge and the information that he shared on the program when she hosted it. So
Oh,
these are
that's
actually
what she
playing
hosted?
24 hours, 365. Yes, sir, I
Mhm.
believe so. I believe one of the times you're out of town, you asked her to host, and Brother Linwood Kirkland was the special
Okay.
guest. And that video almost reached 1,000 views. So that
Excellent.
was very
Excellent.
popular,
Mhm.
compelling content as well.
Yeah. Good, good, good. Okay.
So
Nice.
then, like I said, you can cast that to your TV or you can make that full size right from your desktop or
And
laptop,
you said, how do
depending
you
on what
cast
kind
that
of
to your TV? How do you do that?
right in the corner. Right in the corner, I think corner right, you'll see like a little TV frame. If you just click that,
Yeah.
it'll cast it. If you have a smart TV, now you can't have a turn knob TV. You got to have a modern TV. So if it has that little cast button, it's a little like white square that's in the lower left hand corner down here, right
Yeah.
around this area. If you click
Mm.
on that, it'll shoot it right to your TV. It'll first tell you all the smart TVs you have in your home or in the area. Then it'll
Yeah.
ask which one you want to send it to directly.
Wow. Okay. Good. Good,
Yeah.
good. Good stuff, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
that's good. That's good information.
Well, it's
Yeah.
it's it's great to not just to be able to create content, but then to control how your content is distributed to the world. So if something
Hmm.
happened, your content gets blocked on a certain social media platform, you can still disseminate your content, the areas of interest that interest you, to the world and to the nation, because you
Nice.
control your own distribution platform. So
Yeah,
I'm not waiting on Facebook, I'm not waiting on YouTube, I'm not waiting on Twitter or Instagram. I can go live, capture my content, and then distribute it to the world. But then you just have to tell the world where to find the content you're distributing.
Right.
nice. Nice, nice. Okay.
And I think we have
All right.
21,
I'm glad
21
I said,
customer 21 customer created channels. Mr. Richard Utley has a channel. Brother Richard James still has a channel. Brother Earl, Pastor Earl Harris has a channel. There's 21 different customer created channels that are on there, including
mhm,
the Writers Wordshop and the Life Esteem channel as well. And some
appreciate that.
channels we've created, a kids channel, a comedy channel, an
Mhm.
evangelism channel. I mean, what would TV look like if we were in control in the saddle and we could recreate TV? Is
About
what
that.
Voice TV is. Community TV for the community, created by the community.
Hmm.
So when we do our Life Esteem Ministries and I do, take my the sermons and stuff, can I send that to you and be put
Yes,
on
sir, you
Life
could.
Esteem?
Yeah, yes, sir, you could. You could schedule it, 8 p.m., 9 p.m. You can schedule it at 6 a.m. in the morning. Now we'll
Hmm.
have to talk about, the particulars. The more time I have to spend, programming it, we'd have to, talk about some things.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's totally programmable
Hmm.
from 6 a.m. to 12 midnight, and then, starting over the next day as well.
So anything we do here, you just automatically put it on.
Yeah, I put everything that we do here on your channel, the Writers Workshop channel, and the Voice Community channel, which includes all the programs that we air and host
Okay.
and
But
produce
anything I
on the
sent you, that would be something a little bit different. You'd have to put that on.
Yeah, because then I'm gonna have to spend, we're a mom and pop establishment, mom's home, homeschooling the baby, so it's just pop, 12,
Hmm.
14 hours a day at the studio.
Hmm.
So I'd have to make time to do
Right.
that. But there's always time because this is how we make a living and, reach
Right.
reach the world.
Okay, good, good, good. All right, man. Appreciate it. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, listen, I appreciate it. And like I said, for those persons just tuning in, of course, we're on The Voice, 17104, I always say Harrisburg, but harrisburg.com. And we come on every Friday night from 7 to 9. And always glad to have Brother Neil Owens out of High Point, North Carolina. Yeah. On with us, and brother Neil is a novelist and a very good novelist, and has a couple of projects in the works, getting ready to come out. So always glad to have you on, man. Had this
Great.
conversation,
Always
and it's
glad to
like
be here.
we usually start off the whole thing lately.
Right.
It's usually you and I, yeah. Then maybe roll up in here, and Wendy. I know Wendy's on assignment. She's actually out at one of the malls and pushing some of the books and products that she has, and she's gonna do that tonight and tomorrow. She may actually pop up because I think it goes up
She
until like
did
8 or
last week.
yeah, she did. That's right. That's right. She sure did. So I think it goes up to like 8 o'clock. So, she might pop up after that. Excuse my voice. But anyhow, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Not much. I'm basically in the house, man. I hit the gym and I'm back in the house, focused, working on my piece, man, trying to get it all ready to go.
That's
'Cause I
good.
need to
That's good.
definitely have it at the end of the next month.
All right, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. And how did you find your editor, by the way? Was it someone that you worked with for a long time or?
Well, actually, I found my editor when I was when I was writing my debut novel, and I was one of the writing communities. I met this gentleman in one of the writing communities, and I decided. I said, well, he was an editor. He edited. He has his own magazine online, so I decided to go with him,
Mhm.
and you know, it was a good relationship. It was a good workout. I mean,
All
it
right.
worked very well. I mean, uh,
Mhm.
and I was very happy with him. And what can I say? I mean, my first book uh, won 3 literary awards, so he obviously
Mhm.
did a good job. and, and
Fantastic.
editing
Yeah.
it. But yeah, so we've been I've been working with him ever since.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, when you find somebody that you click with, stay with them.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Absolutely. Yeah, I know a lot of people are looking for editors and agents and all kinds of, different helps that are out there, but it's not easy to get someone these
No,
days.
it's not. It's not easy. It's not easy to get. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are working as editors. You could probably find a lot easier. The hard one is to get that agent. An agent
That's right.
is
Yeah,
very
yeah,
very difficult to get. In most cases, you have to like spend money
yeah.
to go to some of these
Mhm,
workshops and different things where they are, and agents.
mhm.
You get a chance to meet them and stuff. And there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of agents also, they get bogged down with, maybe, I don't know how many clients they might have, but they're reluctant to bring on new clients, especially if you're, just, brand new or
Right,
you
right,
haven't been
right,
widely published or whatever, because they feel like they got to do so much work to kind of get you out there. But hey, a person has to get a start somewhere, you know what I mean? And
right.
so, yeah, you would think some of these agents would open up and loosen up
Well,
and,
there are some who looking for new clients and
mhm,
looking for new writers and different things. So there are some out there.
mhm.
But again, it's so competitive and so many people sending work to them, and you really got to have that first sentence right to really capture their interest, because they got so much stuff
That's
they
right.
go through, and if that first sentence don't get them to read the next sentence, it's over. You know what I mean? They
Mhm,
just
mhm.
move to the next.
That's such a good point that you made. How about that? Because they're going to read a lot of stuff. You won't be the only person submitting, and so if you can't capture their attention, I remember reading up on this very subject, and they said even the way you package your manuscript when you send it to them makes a difference, because they'll look at the outside packaging and decide whether or not to pick it up. Sometimes
Right,
they don't even read your stuff. They're just like toss things aside, and then they say, "Let me look at this one." And so even down to if you can get that curiosity just with your packaging and the way you send it in makes a difference.
yeah.
Did you meet the person before you actually sent them something? Did you talk to them first? Did you reach out to them first, or did you send them cold before
I
actually
sent
meeting
the
them?
query. I sent the query letter, and the most agents want a letter
Mhm.
that basically deals with that first piece of sentence. What they want to capture on what that story is. It's like
Yeah.
they really would like you to be able to, just like when you go into movies and look at Netflix, and that they talk as a movie in that one sentence.
That's
You
right.
know, you want to be able to just tell a story in that one sentence.
That's so true,
You know,
man.
the whole book. That's challenging,
That's the
but
challenge.
they like that.
Yeah,
And you know,
yeah.
once you get their attention, and you can start moving forward and thinking. I mean, I had to probably go through a couple of hundred agents before I finally found one. But then I
Hmm.
realized it's not what I wanted. I mean, I don't
Okay.
want I
Mhm.
don't want um, the publishing house to be able to control my work.
No, no,
And that's the
absolutely.
downside. I mean, it depends on, for some people it doesn't really matter.
That's right. Hmm.
But for me it did. And
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
does. So
But what I like that you did is you moved forward. I remember meeting a person, and I'll just say it that way. She was excellent, man. I mean, just such a great writer. And also, she had a beautiful speaking voice. And so she was here in Harrisburg, and my wife and I was fortunate enough to be named poet laureate, for the city of Harrisburg, and we were supposed to, and we did a poem for the mayor, and so we had to present it. And here we were on our way on the cruise. So she stepped in for me at the Forum, which is a huge venue, and did it, and she just brought the house down. And so she wrote this novel, man, and she moved back down south. I'll just say it that way. And so she was in the midst of a major story because there was an undertaker who they had arrested for, you know, putting bodies on top of bodies. Didn't even bury a whole bunch of people. They found a couple warehouses. This guy had never buried the folks. He claimed he had buried them, and he hadn't. And these bodies was just in these, wooden coffins, things. Man, it was incredible. And her mom was one of the victims with that. And
mhm.
so that was a major piece. And then she wrote a story that I thought was just magical. I mean, she, sent this thing to me, and we started talking about it. I was like, oh my goodness, this is great, great stuff. And she sent it out, and she wasn't happy with the publisher, and I guess whoever was representing her, because they wanted to change a few things, and she was determined they weren't going to change, anything. And so the sad reality was, I don't know if she ever got that book published, man. That was one heck of a story, well written and everything, I thought. And I remember she was determined, and determined not to let someone tell her what to do. But then she kind of stopped herself. So I'm sure had she published that bad boy, she'd have let me know about it.
Right,
But I never heard another word, and I always thought that was sad. So I'm glad
yeah,
you didn't stop. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah,
I mean, some
yeah,
people, you
because
can go that indie route. You can go the indie route. You can just do it, yourself. You can do that,
absolutely. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
And so many people are doing that. I mean, you
Right.
go to bookstores these days. I was in bookstores just yesterday, man. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of books out there, and a lot of them are the indie writers. Uh, and they're in these bookstores, these major bookstores, the Barnes and Nobles of the world and all that place. So you just got to know how to get it done. So anyhow, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that whole thing of finding an editor can be very daunting and can be a turnoff. Finding a agent even worse, as you said, can be a turnoff. Um, so when you begin to market your book, what was the first thing that you did that was in your mind was a good move to let people know, about your book? You were an indie writer, independent writer, and you decided to put it out. So how did you let people know about it?
Well, in starting, I put it into contest, and that's what I did with my first book. Put it into some book contests, reputable literacy contests that included publishing house,
Okay.
their work. So, traditional publishers, I went up against them.
Hmm.
And there are some that you can that open up the door for indie authors. Then there's some good ones that close the door to indie
No,
writers.
that's
You
right.
can't
That's
you
right.
can't participate. You got to be
Hmm.
a part of the traditional publishing house to participate.
Hmm.
But the ones that did open up their door to indies, I was successful in that in getting the award. But once you get the award, you have to put that helps you to go and market it. But it's all about money,
Yeah, yeah. About
because
that
you have
money.
to promote it and you got to spend some money. because there's so many books out there, so many people, and it's just, just throwing it on Facebook is not enough.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those mesos, I mean, you have to advertise it. Just like anything, you have to advertise it.
You have to advertise
You have
it.
to spend some money. Or you go out there on the corner
Mm-hmm.
and sell it that way. You can do that too. Go to different book, like what Wendy's doing. She's out there at the mall and things of that sort. I mean, so there's a lot of different avenues, and you need to
Yeah.
take all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to try
I
them all.
mean,
That's right.
don't feel like you're a failure. Go out there and do it all those different things, and it just takes that one time, that one thing. You just never know who's gonna pop up, who's gonna get it, who is gonna cross to it, then boom. And you just get yourself a little exposure. It's
Right.
one person meeting another person meeting. It's like the young lady, the poet at Biden's inauguration. I mean,
Yes.
she got connected. Somebody, boom, 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 and then Jill Biden got there. It is.
That's right. Man the
And so,
booming. Man the booming.
you gotta
Yeah.
stick with it, and you just gotta, go with it, and no matter, and just endure. That's the
Mm-hmm.
hardest part is to be able to just endure.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
get discouraged because you're gonna have a lot of disappointments, a lot of failures, a lot of,
Mm-hmm.
downs. I mean, but you gotta stick with it and persevere.
Yeah. 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 I'm really happy for and proud of your boy Kwame Alexander, who's really just knocking it out the ballpark. And he had his one book turned into a TV series on one of those streaming things, and he just won an Emmy. And then I saw him on late night talk show with was it Gobert or something like that, and he did a great job on that, man. But he's getting around now. He's on the big platforms and he's
Hmm.
going into the schools. His big thing was the schools. He went into all those schools all over the country, really, and promoted his book that way. These kids just fell in love with his works, and he's using poetry, but he's telling the story in his poetry. And so, yeah, got to give the guy credit. And he's writing a lot of stuff. I mean, for kids, for adults, the whole bit. So, yeah. Yeah, man, you got to push it, and when writers write, and if they're not willing to get out there and push their product, then, it's possible it may never go anywhere.
That's right.
Just kind of,
You have to go out and push it. You
you
have
got
to,
to push it, man. Yeah.
have to
Talk
push it.
shows. Did you do a lot of talk shows?
A lot of talk shows on some radio. I had problems getting television, but a lot
Mhm.
of talk shows online, different talk shows. I mean, just trying to get through on the television was very, very challenging. Um, Here in High Point, um, they they wouldn't want they didn't want to deal with me because they only deal with traditional publishers.
Mhm. Mhm.
And one of the reasons they said they don't deal with the independents is because they've had a lot of bad work.
Mhm. Yeah.
A lot of people, independent authors, a lot of them don't get this stuff edited, and that professionally edited, and they send stuff
Yeah.
out and all that, and
Yeah.
but
But here's the
that's
thing, though, especially the networks, they have people that can read those things in advance and then say yay or nay to it. So, I
right.
mean, just to cut out all independent authors to me seems like a cop out. If
It
I send
is.
in a product and it's
It
inferior, it's
is.
inferior. And if
It
and if I
is.
send out a product from a major company and it's inferior, it's inferior. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. I mean, that's what a lot of. I mean, it's because there's so many people trying and sending and stuff to them, and they get flooded with a lot of stuff.
Yes, they
I
do.
mean, I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
basically, Nate, there's like about 100,000 books coming out every month.
How about that? They really are, man. I'm telling you.
So
It's
there's a
amazing.
lot of books coming out every month. So it's really
Every month. Speaking of which, I found something yesterday, and I'm going to segue into this real quick. Two things. I received a call from a good buddy of mine. She is now, I think, 91 or 92 years old. Served in the military. Name is Betty Curtis. Betty Curtis is a longtime member of the Writers Workshop. Hasn't been able to be on because she doesn't do this, this kind of platform here. But great writer. She's a librarian. Served in the military back in the day, when what they call it, the wax and all that, the women serving the military, and was stationed in Korea the whole bit. So I had her on the show here on The Voice, along with two other people, two other women. And the ironic part about them, all of them had served in the military at one time or another, different times, didn't know each other at the time. They all came out and they all eventually went to Drexel University, unbelievable, three of them, to get master's degrees in library science at different times. One lady at this point, I guess she may be 70 now. When we did that interview, I think she was 68. Betty has to be at least 91 or 92. And then the other lady, I think she has since passed. She was close to 87, 88, something like that, whatever. But they became friends and got to know each other, and they could talk about the military and all that stuff. But anyhow, avid readers. So she called me no more than, I would say, 2, 3 months ago and told me about this book called Black Love Letters, edited by Cole Brown and Natalie Johnson. And the forward is John Legend, the great, singer. And so she said, you want to get a copy of this because it's a lot of people in here who that we may know that wrote these love letters, from Black people writing love letters, like Imani Perry on Black Love is Grace, Michael Eric Dyson to the Black Church, Douglas Kearney to Black, okay, I'm gonna let that go. And then Jonathan Capehart, okay, let me see here. Names that we might know here. There's a couple, there's so many here, and a lot of them I don't know, some of them I do. So anyhow, it's a wonderful book, and each person has like maybe a page and a half to 2 pages, and they write these love letters to different entities within the Black community, like Sojourner Brown to self, Gianna Wortham to inner critic. She wrote a love letter. Here's Kwame Dawes wrote a letter on fishing. Jane Allen to blackness. Okay, Reverend Al Sharpton to his grandson. Topaz Jones on worry, and it goes on down. It really is well done. I have to give whoever thought of this idea, and I'm not going to read any of them. I could because they're kind of short, but I won't do that. But anyhow, let me just promote this, tell people about it. It's called Black Love Letters, and it is worth getting. I'm telling you, I've enjoyed going through it already, and I really just picked up just yesterday. But I want to thank Betty Curtis for calling me, and she said, I thought about you immediately because there's such good writing in here, and each individual's story, put together as a collective, talks about the Black community. The other one I want to lift up, and I bought this for myself because my wife and I are both trainers, and we do a lot of work, and we're currently working through with this wonderful program through Messiah University. And this book is called An Anti-Racist Activity Book, Do the Work. And W. Kamau Bell and Kate, it looks like Schultz. And so this is it. It's a workbook, and it's called Do the Work, and it's dealing with how to become an anti-racist activity book. Excellent, absolutely excellent. The things that they have in here, and it is a workbook. Centering Black Voices, talks about women, okay? It says centering, is that what it says? It says, yeah, centering Black women's voices, and has all different, kinds of things in there that you can use for workshops. It says picturing history, and it shows here the guys who got off after killing Emmett Till, and how they were smoking cigars and laughing with their wives, and then later on, within a week or two, confessed to Life magazine that they actually did kill the boy, but they had already been found innocent. So you can't, do double jeopardy. Here's the one in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, 1892, says, who are these children? And it shows all these children, man. I don't know if you can even see the picture right here. This picture right here. And those are all Indian children up in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, at the Carlisle school, Indian school, they called it back in the day. And, Jim Thorpe, the great athlete, came out of that. And so this has so much stuff in here. Talks about a lot of answers, like this photo depicts from left to right, and talks about these people, and they ask the question, who are these people, and answers. So anyhow, this is, I'm real excited about this because it's something for everybody. And again, it's called An Anti-Racist Activity Book, and it's Do the Work, and it forces you to think, to think about what is racism, why does it still exist, and they don't pull any punches. This is really good. So those are two things I picked up just yesterday, and actually I'm gonna go buy my wife that anti-racist book because I know she's gonna want to use mine, and I don't blame her. And so I'm gonna make sure she has her own. This is another nice little book, and I want to thank come on now. Oh boy. Anyhow, he does the Central Pennsylvania Literacy Council, Joe Bedard. And Joe has all these books that he gives away to children mostly. And they're free. He gets them from what's called First Book. And he pays like pennies on the dollar to buy these books. And they are all brand new books. And this one is called The Fierce 44 Black Americans Who Shook Up the World. And it has, these pictures. Duke Ellington is featured here, as you can see. And then it has a story about Duke Ellington. So for young people to be able to be exposed to these 44, Black people who shook up the world. Benjamin O. Davis is here, Simone Biles, okay, James Baldwin, Zora Neale Hurston, Quincy Jones, Malcolm X, Toni Morrison, Sidney Poitier, Sojourner Truth, just goes on down, Madam C.J. Walker. And young people can learn a lot of African American history just by, picking up this book and reading about the 44. Of course, you see Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey on here. Henry Louis Gates does the foreword for this book. And it's written by the staff of The Undefeated. Okay, that's the name of the group. The staff is called The Undefeated. And its portraits are by Robert Ball. Okay, the staff of The Undefeated. I like that. What a name. Great, great, great. Anyhow, so those are some things I just wanted to lift up tonight. And of course, I will lift up one more time, which I've lifted up many times, and I hope that you will never, ever stop picking this book up, created by, Nicole Hannah Jones, the 1619 Project. Boy, this is powerful. 1619 Project. Hannah, Nicole Hannah Jones, okay? She won the Pulitzer Prize for this particular book. And she also has a TV special, which is really excellent. I forget how many episodes and hours it is. But you're talking about some research up in here? Yeah. And then also the poetry. She included poetry throughout. She covers a lot of different topics: capitalism, dispositions, the church, everything is covered here. Fear, like what will be fear and why, going down the line. Okay. So there it is. And I won't do a book review. I just say you go buy the books. They're really, really good. And there's so many others out there too, by the way. So are you also like reading, Brother Neil, like different authors that you have that you stick with, or subjects that you are most interested in, and that you, as a writer, do you have time to read, or is that just a natural that you have to read? How do you handle that?
No, I don't have the time now to read. I did before,
Mm-hmm.
but now as a author, I really don't have time to do a lot of reading because I'm busy writing.
Right on. Yes, yes. And that's the work, and that's the interesting thing. Some people are able to handle that, they juggle both. They're reading and writing, reading, writing. And sometimes you ask yourself a question: will the readings influence your writings in a negative way? Because you're listening to that author's voice and their perspective, and does that have influence on you? On the other hand, it does it give you a different perspective, a better perspective. So, go back and forth and all that. The question is the time to do it. Because if you're really going to absorb a piece of work, it takes time to sit and read a book, And at
Yeah,
the same time, it takes time to write a book. And
right.
so, yeah, so it's a thing. But they used to always say readers are leaders, and that to be a good writer, you have to read. But there's a time to read and a time to write, a time to read and a time to write. And so you have to figure out how to make that best work, for yourself. Um, and do you read novels, or do you read nonfiction, fiction, newspaper articles, journals, more of journals around your work or your life passion, whatever. Are you more into history, or are you more into the creative arts, where you like the poetry or the plays and all that kind of stuff? Just it's interesting interesting thing to ponder. What I'm going to do is, I'm not sure. I got to grab my my little, what do you call it, my wallet phone, no, but my phone. That's what I'm missing right now, and make sure I keep track of the time. But let's go to the video. I know the brother Chris always brings us some outstanding videos for us, and so let's watch a video. And okay, I like this already. And then we'll see with National Youth Poet Laureate. Okay, oh, this is Amanda Gorman. Okay, excellent.
We the people. We the people live in a less than perfect union that accuses the vulnerable and never the top class and race. When children are illegal and intolerance bans humans, I wonder who we the people are in the first place. We the people meant all lives matter, but are white lives living a coincidence when, if you're not male or pale, you get destroyed for demonstrating dissidence? When the color of his skin gives a killer assumed innocence, but still we will rise up, advocate, and activate with the people's diligence. Let's speak names to we the people, so they are not lost in executive orders lines. Protect them from prick of tweet, pen, bullet, or steeple. Sturdy our spines to keep making signs and reading the signs. It's hectic, apocalyptic, the skeptics, but we can be united. For what makes America great is diversity and democracy reignited. In excitement, they call for an indictment, but I think 4 years are far too far-sighted. What can the enlightened do now for the blighted so wrongs are righted? We, the people, are brave enough to love this country's creed. We, the people, love this country enough to question its misdeeds. We, the people, question enough to build upon this foundation. We, the people, erect an improved hilltop of a nation indivisible by where we come from or who we are born. We, the people, are those who let freedom ring. So, no matter who we love, talk, pray, or mourn, this America too is ours to build and ours to sing.
Beautiful. Yeah. Man, I just like the way she articulates a very clear message. Her poetry is not complicated as much as it is well crafted, and it tells a very powerful story. Anytime I've ever heard her, and that was an interesting piece. She just concentrated on her mouth, and didn't really show her eyes as much. You saw a couple little glimpses of them, but she just wanted to make sure we heard that. I guess we the people. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. She's she speaks so well, and she delivers her poem, the poetry, the spoken word so well. And that's a good way to define her poet is spoken word.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
She's really
Yeah,
good.
she's got it down to like I said, the science. And I
Yeah.
love all of her stuff. We're hoping to, we're going to start working on trying to bring her here to the Harrisburg area. I love the young people to be able to experience her. And I know I think she graduated from, yeah, she did graduate from Harvard University, and has had some significant milestones there. I forget, they showed something on Sunday morning, one of those programs, and the show where her poetry now, or she is being lifted up among some of the greats, because Harvard has established this area of the campus where they talk about some of the great writers and persons, and already at her tender age, she's being listed and immortalized in that particular area of the campus. So that's quite an honor. I mean, you have people come from all over the world to see Harvard, and to see her stuff there like that, man. Incredible. Incredible.
Mhm.
Yeah. So good stuff, Amanda Gorman. And there's some other great young people out there. Brother Chris, I don't know if you can find this or not, and I'm probably putting you on the spot here. She's the current poet laureate of Philadelphia, and her last name is Matthews. And is it like Arius Matthews? I think it is Aries or something like that. Matthews, and I've never heard her, but she's going all over the world. Literally, I've seen her in Paris, this and that. She was here in Harrisburg, and unfortunately, we had an event that we were doing that coincided with her appearance here. And I was thinking about trying to get in touch with Nim Bingo here at the Midtown Scholar Bookstore. Brought her in and packed it out. Everyone was talking about how great she was. But if you have a video of her, I'd love to hear her speak, and people are touting her quite a bit. I'd love to hear some of her poetry as well. I think it's Arius Matthews, and I need to get my phone because if I looked her up, I'm pretty sure I could give you, correct spelling and all that kind of good stuff. But are you familiar with who I'm talking about, Neil?
No.
Okay, yeah. And again, I'll say it over and over. I've never heard her, but I've heard about her quite a bit, and I've seen her featured on, like I said, the different, media platforms, and she's been everywhere. Where they're doing poetry, she pops up. It can be in Paris, France, somewhere. Boom, there she is. I'm like, wow. But anyhow, there's a lot of great voices out there, and we just need to keep, keep on top of who's doing what. That's another thing I do miss. We used to interview quite a few people. Queenie used to bring some folks in, and so did other people. They would recommend someone. We had people literally from all over the country. Remember one gentleman, him and his mom used to come on, and the mother was kind of up in age. I mean, she was like,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
yeah. And I think I think she may have passed away. I'm not sure about that, but she wrote some cookbooks.
Right. Actually, I bought
Yeah.
one of her books. I bought one of her
Okay.
cookbooks.
Mhm. Yeah, and I kept saying I was going to, and I'm going to, because I do want to honor her with that. Yeah. I heard the cookbook was very good. She put a lot of those stories in the cookbooks, from what I understand. Things that she could really, relate to her youth, and things she was taught on about how to cook, different dishes and all that. Yeah, I like stuff like that. And she was like, I think, wasn't she in Georgia? And the sun was out there, like in the western part of the state,
No,
right?
I think he was. I think he was in the Midwest somewhere, wasn't he?
Oh, maybe so. Maybe
I think he was
so.
in the mid. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. You're right. Mhm.
Yeah. He had a book called The Kentuckian or something.
Oh, okay. Mhm. Yeah, good stuff, man. But anyhow, one of the things that we're working on, for those persons who don't know, here at the Writers Workshop, we're working on a couple things. April the 20th, we're going to have a wonderful program. We hope to get the flyer out sometime this week that deals with writing, and we're going to honor some outstanding, writers, people who have contributed to the writing community over the years. And it's going to be held over at the Central Penn, University, Central Penn College in Summerdale, Pennsylvania, which is literally right across the road from Harrisburg here, across the bridge. And it's going to be a wonderful day. We have Maria Child, who's agreed to do a 2-hour workshop for us. We have Wendy Notre Onye is going to MC the open mic, poetry rap. Roy Bradley, we hope will be able to play a role as well. And we will have some vendors as well as giving out awards. And, we're going to have some, hors d'oeuvres kind of thing. We call it heavy hors d'oeuvres, so people can take advantage of that. And so it's going to be a wonderful time, and it's going to be very low cost. Anywhere from $10 to $15, whatever, maybe 20. But the point is, you will be glad you came, because it's not about trying to, make money as much as it is trying to get money to utilize for the betterment of our advancement of the work we're trying to do. And so we're blessed enough, by the way, the Wordshop was awarded the grant. I want to thank the county. I got to start looking out for that notice, but we received the grant. And it was, man, I was absolutely shocked at how competitive that bad boy is. All of Harrisburg was there. I was like, what in the world? My wife had received one a few years back, and she was talking about how much work went into that stuff. And so we have a grant writer, and, we talked about it. So anyhow, he invited me to come down and, testify in case they had questions about the application and all that. And I was not prepared, man. I got off that elevator and the line was way back, and all these people, I'm like, what? And they, yeah, this is the line. So I go in, and then they tell us that all applications have been received, and then we were notified, but the only time you could get up and talk is if you had new information to give about your grant. So they would read off the name, they might say, of course, we're at W, so we're way in the back. Might say Writers Workshop, and then they could say, we have a few questions for you. Please come forward, take the seat. So you go up and, you wait for them to ask you the questions, and then you expound on that. Or you could say, I would like to, add something to the understanding of our application. And you go in and they would make it very clear to you. You have 2 minutes. And if it has to be new information, don't tell us something that's already in the proposal. That'll be a strike against you. And so anyhow, I stayed there as long as I possibly could, and then I had to get back, do my thing. So I said to the grants writer, I said, hey, man, I'm going to leave. So, oh, I got you, a little bit. So we hadn't heard anything. We, it's like, okay. And out of sight, out of mind. I wasn't even thinking about it. And then I received a call saying, hey, you've been awarded, some money. I said, okay, good. And it's not like, millions, but a few $1,000s in order to be able to bring in some speakers and all that. So I was really happy about that. First time we actually applied, and first time, getting something. And anybody has a 501c3, can apply. And so you got some big agencies there and some small guys like us there as well. But in the end, they awarded us some money. So we have programming that we're doing, and I want to thank Nicole Wilkerson, who really has been just unbelievable. I mean, God sent me somebody that is easy to work with, talented, knows what she's doing, confident, and just been a great person and a behind the scenes kind of person. She's not out there trying to get the limelight, but she pretty much does a lot of the sort of coordinating and actually executing of the various programs we put on in the past 2 years. So actually March the 30th, we're gonna have our Easter egg hunt. And I don't know if Brother Chris, I know that there's a flyer out there for the Easter egg hunt. And if we can show that, there you go, thank you. And this is the free event. And you can see it says Easter Extravaganza presents free Easter egg baskets to the first 100 kids, 12 noon to 5 p.m. So we're gonna have vendors there. Excuse me, we're gonna have all kinds of entertainment. Of course, they're gonna have the Easter egg hunt, and Nicole does a great job of helping us with these, games and stuff, and we have a lot of fun with that. We have a big bouncy house we hope to have again this year, and we also have the bunny, Easter bunny, walk around in a big old suit. And I got a hats off to my granddaughter, who is tall, stands about 6 feet, whatever, and she did an excellent job. She was a great bunny. Kids seemed to really like her, and all the little games and the races and trying to find the eggs and the chocolate and the candy. It was a big hit. So we had a lot of fun with that. So again, that's free, absolutely, 900 South Arlington Avenue. And you'll see that, we have games, painting, vendors, music, all that's gonna be there. And so last year we had over 200 kids come out. And so that means that, we had a number of families that came through and did a great job. Oh, here's an evening of spoken word. This is April the 5th. This is not a workshop program, but these are workshop people. And you can see this Ro Brady, Wendy Noche Onye right there on the left-hand side, holding up the books. And then this young lady, I'm not familiar with her as much, but Ashley Nicole, and I'm gonna mess up the last name, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Walk awake. Okay, and so I understand she's an outstanding poet. And then there's Maria Chow, who's the far right. I know the three, and I'm sure the four are just fantastic. So you don't want to miss out on this. It's an evening of spoken word, and it's going to be April the 5th, and it's going to be at the bookstore down Legalstown Road. Hello, Brother Chris.
I said Heart and Soul Book, sir.
Heart and Soul Books. Okay, that's the name of it. And it's a wonderful African-American bookstore, by the way. They specialize in African-American literature, and it's in Legalstown, right on the main strip, like I guess it's Main Street, whatever, on Legalstown. If you follow Legalstown Road into Legalstown, it's like right there on the square, so you can't miss it. So check out the Heart and Soul Bookstore, April the 5th. What was that time again, Brother Chris? I missed the time on that.
Here it comes up again. I had a quick phone call I had to take.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, it was, let's see. Was it 5 o'clock? April 5th.
7 o'clock.
What did you say, brother? Oh,
7
yeah,
o'clock.
7 p.m. I see it. There you go.
Yeah.
7 p.m. Excellent. Okay. Great, great, great. I kept seeing the fifth. And I wanted to say that was the time, but that's the date. So anyhow, very good. Yeah, but there are these ladies, if you have not heard them, they're absolutely excellent. And they do tremendous work. And they're all published. And so don't miss out on that. I plan on being there myself on April 5th. By the way, what is April 5th? Is that a Saturday? That is a Friday night. Okay, so that's going to be there Friday night. So I probably won't be there. I'll probably be right here. We'll figure that out. But it's good to know that they are doing that. It's a Friday night down at the Heart and Soul Bookstore in Lingostown. Good stuff, good stuff. And then also on the 20th, which we don't have a flyer out yet, again, April the 20th, we'll be doing, a lot of things there. Don't forget also in May, we're going to do a Mother's Day program. And then in June, we have a Father's Day program and also Juneteenth. We're going to be celebrating both of those and, to be determined in terms of location and all that. But we always do those programs. We will make no exception. This year, we'll be doing those programs again. We're going to be doing some storytelling. We just found out that we may have an opening to do a wonderful riverboat cruise where we do poetry and all that. And in fact, when we've done it in the past, it's been a blast. It was really good. We go down on the Pride of the Susquehanna, which many of us have been on at this point, and it's a wonderful, beautiful boat. And we'll go up and down the Susquehanna River for anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours, and we'll have food and poetry and music and just a whole lot of fun meeting people and all that. So we'll stay tuned, and we'll tell you more about that. In October, as you know, we'll do something every month, but in October we're going to have the international storytelling festival. We've always had that at the State Museum, and we may try to do it there again, and then again we may look for another venue. But the point being, we will be holding our storytelling festival, and we're doing a lot more storytelling, by the way. We'll be doing a lot more of that, and we're doing an African American storytelling. By the way, we should have coming out relatively soon our monthly magazine. We'll be instituting that. It is called Amandala African American History 365, and so we decided to give it a decided focus. It is an African American, week online magazine that will take place every single month. And the young lady that's working on it is Sarita Henderson. She does a fantastic job. We enjoyed the magazine before, but it was just people submitting articles. Now it is decidedly a journal, if you will, magazine for the African American, perspective, whether that be history or just not fiction, nonfiction, all that. So this month we hope to feature Wendy Nocheonye, who wrote a piece. And we're going to try to feature these one artist, author every month. And so I'm going to put Brother Neil Owens on notice right now, man. We want to have a piece from you, feature you one month, where you can have an article or talk about one of your books or just a short story, whatever. And then we'll have other features within the magazine. In fact, we have some real good stuff that I submitted to her already. And we'll see, how it all comes out. But Amandala, which means power in Swahili, it was the call for the South African Revolution when Africans were trying to be freed from apartheid. They hollered Amandala, and then they they did that step, and Amandala became the war cry, and again it means power. Okay, all right. So having said that, Brother Neil, did you have something you wanted to share tonight in terms of readings and all that?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent.
Y'all read a scene from The Rise and Fall of the Fourth Reich.
Okay.
This just that you know what's going on in this particular scene. The president has revoked the citizenship of all non-white people.
Mm.
and they have 30 days to leave the country or be deported. So this is the scene of the young man who happens to be a reporter named William from Harrisburg.
Yeah.
So this is the scene. He has he's gone through a lot, but this is him returning from he was in Wyoming doing some research,
Mm.
investigative reporting, and now he returned back to Harrisburg.
Okay.
He when William phoned, let me just come. I'm gonna go real quick on this. He jumped in the cab.
Mhm.
Driver was an Arab American. William said, "I guess it feels good to be exempt from being kicked out of the country." He could see in the rearview mirror that the driver didn't like the comment and said, "I didn't mean to offend you." The driver said, "Yes, you did. I don't appreciate the sarcasm. If all you got is snide remarks, keep your mouth shut or get out. I apologize. I'm sorry." The driver sighed. William saw the eyes of a man that wanted to say something but didn't. "Can we start over?" William said. The driver replied, "If you want. My name is William. Jamal. Jamal, we're not leaving this country. We're ready to fight. I was just wondering whose side you were on. Do you think the Muslims in this country are dumb? We're exempt for now because the president wants the Arab world to kill the Jews for him. Then he will kick us out of the country too. We know we're next. I'm tired of smart ass people like you thinking we don't know we're next." William held the expression of being put in place and thought to keep quiet, but said, "Jamal, 10 months ago I went to DC thinking I knew it all. First, I lost my girlfriend because I took her love for granted. Second, I learned that I wasn't ready for the things I was preaching about. Third, I learned the woman, Third, I learned the work I was doing wasn't to enlighten others, but to make me famous. I didn't give a damn if anyone was enlightened. That wasn't my purpose. Now I realize how selfish that was and how less of a man it made me to be. And lastly, so far, you made me realize how narrow-minded I still am. For that, I thank you." Jamal nodded lightly as he approached the red light. He looked into the rearview mirror and said, "Allah is humility. You cannot worship God without humility. You cannot know God without learning yourself. You have learned yourself. Be the man that God has made you to be." Closed mouths was the remainder of the ride, but each man heard the thoughts of the other, and each man felt the feelings of the other. Those were moments in the spiritual world, which is the understanding of things spiritually discerned. I stopped there.
Wow. Man, you come up with some stuff. That's good stuff. Wow, just that whole scene, man, it's captivating. That's good. That's good. You know, and just the opening statement when you made that comment, and then to have the Arab brother look back and say, you know, and challenge him and basically say, "Yeah, you lied. Yes, you did. You meant to say that."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's pretty powerful, you know, and huh, and very realistic, you know, man. Think about it. Just not that long ago, back in last summer, people were walking down the street just attacking folks, man. You know, whether they be from, you know, what, Korea, someplace, or from the Middle East, whatever.
Oh
They just
yeah.
man,
During
just
COVID, yeah, they were attacking it. You was from you was Asian, man. They were attacking you, man.
oh yeah, big time, big time. But still, even now today, man, I mean, you know, people fighting like crazy. They literally had to have the National Guard. They're now policing the subway system of New York City. That's how
Right.
bad things gotten
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
And still, a guy got shot. just yesterday. Big
Yeah.
fight broke out. Guy gets the gun away from the guy, ends up shooting the guy in the head. They said it shot him in the face, two times, shot him in the neck area 2 times, and then shot him someplace else. The point being, even after having the National Guard, deployed, they still have, incidents happening that are just unbelievable, man. The car was packed, and this guy's gonna start firing, shooting, you know. And he was, and by the way, they said that the guy who ended up shooting the guy was actually self-defense because the other guy is the one that pulled out the gun. The gun got shot, and he got shot with his own gun because he pulled out the gun and then somehow it got taken from him or he dropped it or whatever. And the guy that he was fighting, beating up actually, ended up picking up the gun and then shooting him. So it's like, man, I mean, you just trying to get home from work or whatever you're trying to do, and all that breaks out, and they have it on tape too. Had the whole thing on tape, man. It showed it on World News Tonight. Somebody got a camera. They're gonna take the picture, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Movie, yeah. It's like wow. So, but good writing though. Good writing, man. And to be able to capture a scene like that is that's a special gift. Yeah, I mean, really. What time do you have, Neil? Where you are? What time do you have?
8:03.
Okay, all right. We should be on the same time. We're the same thing. So it's about 8:03. So that's okay. Cool. Very good. Yeah, there's like I said, in all these books, man, and we have a ton of them lately. My wife does a lot of work on Kindle. Are is your stuff on Kindle? Your
Yeah.
books? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is that a special process to make that happen, or how does that happen?
Well, when you with Amazon, that's you can put yourself on Kindle.
Oh, okay.
And you're dealing with England Spark and all them, they you do an ebook and you have ebook, but Amazon does the Kindle piece, where you can go on and you can pick up a book on Kindle and read it.
Is that like an extra cost?
No, not with Amazon, no.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah. That's the thing, man. The whole industry has gotten so different in terms of what you can do and all that stuff. Back in the day, there was no Kindle and all these different platforms and all that. You either went to the publishing house or you didn't publish, right? But actually self-publishing has been around for a long time. It's just that it's so more mainstream these days. And people are much more comfortable with it. Before, like, I remember back in the day, a gentleman stopped me and wanted to have his book published, but he said he couldn't find a publisher. He said, man, I'll send it out, over and over and over. He was with the Negro baseball leagues. And he said, no one was biting. I said, well, then publish it yourself. He said, oh, man, no, I don't want to do that. And he went into this whole thing, And here it was a week, maybe a month later or more, contacts me. He's ready to self-publish now, because he realized he was of age. And it's like, okay, how many more days do you have left? Hopefully a lot, but you want to take that chance that it never gets published. And so he did. He stepped into it, and I think he played for the Harrisburg Clowns, which I'm like, who would come up with a name like that? The Clowns. That was actually. I'm like, come on, man. But that was actual baseball, And so anyhow, but his book ended up doing very well for him. He got a lot of attention from our local newspaper, and got interviewed a number of times in different ways. Yeah, so yeah, good stuff. But he's since passed on, and that was Mr. Fordham. His son is doing a great job of filmmaking. He did a film called The 21st Century Band, which he actually was, I think he was a member of it. And he decided to recreate that whole thing of what happened when these young guys decided to form their own band, and how they had this big goal. In Harrisburg, we have this thing called the State Farm Show building. And it's a huge space, multi-layered. And so they actually have a farm show. And that's the biggest thing that they have in there every year. Starts like the first part of January. And people come from all over, man, to see these animals and, get the milkshakes and all that kind of stuff. And so, um, this guy, he talked about, that was their goal to play at the farm show. And, it sounded kind of funny, kind of strange. It's like, wait a minute, everybody else want to play New York City, Carnegie Hall, something like that. You talking about the farm show. But the farm show was the place where in Harrisburg we bring top-notch acts. And so where did I see James Brown first? At the farm show. And why was that significant? Because I actually worked in his little stage group. We had to help set things up. And he hired a few kids, and we were right off the street. And we walked in the door. It's like, did you want to make it? Mr. Brown needs, and oh yeah, we'll do that. And we went flying down there, and yeah, so that's where it was done. So I see in the movie then, and looking back on that, when they had these major groups come in, and I forget all the groups, but I think of Earth, Wind and Fire, James Brown, just going down the line, they played the farm show, and these guys got a chance to open up then for these major groups, these major acts. So that was a big dream, and that did make sense when you think about it. And so to see that movie, and then it was standing room only when he showed that movie, man. I mean, it was an incredible night. They had the red carpet, they had people come from out of town and flew in just for the premiere. Everybody was dressed up to the nines, all that kind of stuff. And he got up there and told a story. But guess what? He had to write it first. So that's where the writing comes in. In order to put that movie on, he had to actually write a script. And so he did, and he had to go back into the history, who did what, when, and all that kind of stuff. And it was powerful, man. It was a good night of storytelling. Yeah. But Mr. Fordham, his father, Danny Fordham is the son, Mr. Fordham. I forget his full name. He was a Negro baseball league player, but here in his older age, he was a television repair shop man. But he had done much more in life than that. And so when we interviewed him, that's what we talked about. We concentrated on, you're noted for, being the man who fixes TVs and all that stuff. So, but what did you, when you think of yourself? Well, he thought of himself as that Negro baseball league player. And that was really important to him, So good storytelling, man. Good storytelling. Yeah. I see where Don Lemon's come back out, by the way. You remember Don Lemon from CNN?
Yeah, I saw him on CNN.
Yeah. He was, oh, you saw him on CNN. Okay.
Yeah, he was being interviewed. I think he got some kind of piece that he does on X or something, podcast or something.
Yeah, it's called the
And they were
Don Lemon
talking
Show.
about that Elon Musk canceled.
That's it. Yep, that's
Yeah.
it. I saw the same thing. He was interviewing Elon Musk, and
Right.
Elon Musk got real testy and said, the only reason why he's doing this interview is because of something that Lemon's on, and but he got a little testy there. But it's good to see that he's back out and doing something, because I wasn't sure why they let him go in the first place. He kind of talked about that today a little bit. He seemed a lot freer too. He seemed to be a little bit more into his true identity today. Let me put it that way. Because before he always had on the black suit, the tie. He was more sort of, you knew his lifestyle. His lifestyle is that of a gay male and everything. Until he said it, I never knew it, anything like that. But I noticed when he was on The View today, he had on a hot pink shirt, and he was, talking about the interview and everything. And he just seemed to be a lot more into who he is as a gay male. He wasn't trying to be all stiff and all that kind of stuff. And I thought that was interesting to see him in that light, that he owned it. And sometimes people have a hard time owning it, man. It's like, look how long it took Robin Roberts to finally come out, even though everybody knew, but she never talked about it. And then one day she talks about it, and next thing you know, she's getting married. But she's embraced it, whereas you have somebody like what's the other woman that comes on that had a talk show forever? White female, Ellen DeGeneres. She kind of embraced that thing, went into it, with no seemingly no problem. So who knows? But anyhow, the whole process of writing and putting things down and being significant, extremely important for us to keep in mind. Somebody's going to read what we write. Somebody's going to be influenced by what we write. Someone's going to be a critic of what you write. They're going to critique it, and all that kind of stuff. And so, whatever you do, don't stop writing, man. Because you had the gift. I was You have a keen sense of what a conversation should sound like, and what character development is. And so, that's why it's easy for me to sit and listen to you, to read your words. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's good. But no, but it's so interesting though. It's more than just you reading your words. It's like an event. You know what I mean? It's really good craft stuff, man. It really is.
Thank
And
you.
then the other one that you were working on, what's the other one too? You said you're gonna bring that out later.
The storyteller. The
Yeah,
storyteller is really good, man.
yeah,
I
man. I'm
really
telling
like the
you.
storyteller
I
because
do
it has a
too.
lot of different short stories, a lot of stuff, and
Mhm.
but it's just the time right now is more serious, and I need to release the rise and fall of the fourth right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I know you followed that verdict down in was it Georgia? With Fonnie Williams,
Yeah,
her
yeah.
name is. Yeah. The judge really took her to task, but at the same time, did what I was hoping he would do. I stayed true to the fact that she should not be replaced. And the trial's not about her, like she said. This trial is about, that former president of ours, who, man, this guy knows how to tie people up in knots when it comes down to their court system and stuff. Think about that. They're in the midst of this case going very smoothly in her way, and then he's gonna come out there with all this stuff about some romantic relationship and she profited and all that kind of stuff. And let's say they found her guilty on that, which they did not. What's this got to do with Trump? He's still gonna have to
Right,
do what?
right,
He's still gonna have to, face the music.
right.
I see with Dr. Dan Snowden. Come on, Dr. Dan, how you doing? You may be muted, Dr. Dan.
He's muted now. He was unmuted, but he's muted now.
Oh, I
Okay,
can't
he's
see him.
unmuted.
Okay. Yeah, I can never see Dan. I don't
Okay,
know
can you hear me
why.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hear you. Yep. How you doing? Okay, must keep going in and out then, because now I don't hear him again. What? No Chirianye.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm
You
fine.
you
I'm
and Dan,
fine.
let me get this straight. You and Dan both came on at the same time.
That's how rumors get started.
That's how rumors get started.
I couldn't be in a room. I couldn't be in a rumor with a better person.
All right now.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Oh, Neil's muted right now. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's trying to get it off.
yeah. Good to see you, Wendy.
Good to see you too. I've been missing you all.
Yeah,
All
we was
right.
talking earlier about you. We'll probably pop on later after 8 o'clock. I know
Sure,
we out
that's
there
we sure did.
Yes, yes.
out there
So
with
we
the
are.
out the mall.
Yes, yes. The mall is closing. So we are at uh, Park City Mall. Park City Mall in Lancaster or Lancaster, as people here like to
Yeah,
call
yeah,
it.
there you go.
Yeah,
Lancaster.
that's
You
a
go
real
to
good
one, haven't you?
that's a real good opportunity that you have there to be able to do that. That's really good. And
Absolutely, absolutely. We are. Let's see if I can show you all. So everybody is packing up. Let's see
Okay.
somewhere
How
on
was
here.
the turnout? Was it a good turnout?
It was a good turnout. Actually, it was a good turnout. I think we did pretty good. So I don't know if it will. Let's see, I don't want to do that. Well, anyway, I can maybe show you this way. I don't know if you all can see.
Brother Taff.
Yeah, Taft, Writer's Workshop.
Hey, how you doing?
He said he's
The
got a
world
pen out
shop.
ready. Yes. So let's see if you can see. We are actually right off of the center, the main entrance where
Yes.
the food court is.
Okay.
So we've got, the mall's closed, but we've got see you all tomorrow. I made friends at Pandora.
All right.
So yeah, so we've got the setup. So as they come in, they can see, what all you guys can see. But we've got us all
Yes.
here, and we are over here. People are still setting up, but I just wanted you guys to see where we are,
Mhm.
and we've got the setup there.
All right.
Yeah,
Good,
so
good,
it's
good.
been It's been pretty good. And based on today, they say that Friday is a little bit slower than Saturday. So we are expecting to be busy, busy, busy tomorrow.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been pretty good. And it really is a good opportunity. And so I've had a chance to talk to people about the Writers Workshop and different things. And so a lady walked up and said, oh, she said, oh, I've seen this guy before. And I thought, oh, that's Nate Gadsden. She said, that's not Nate Gadsden. And I'm like, well, it's right there on the book, like that's Nate Gadsden, but she was talking about your brother.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I was just getting ready to say, well, I know we call him Denzel sometimes, but that's Nate Gadsden. But she was like, that is not Nate Gadsden. So just so you know, if someone says to you that you're an imposter,
Did she walk away convinced that it wasn't Nate Gadsden? Huh?
well, you know, I argued her down. I was like, yes, it is. No, she was saying, I guess her daughter, it does theater or does something, is in one of his productions or something.
Right, yeah.
And I thought, oh, his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. So yeah. So
That's
we are
crazy.
wrapping up, but I just wanted to check in with you all, wanted to say hello, let you all know that the Writers Workshop is being represented in Lancaster as well. And we will check in with you guys next week.
And by the way, Chris brought up your flyer that you guys will be, you and Maria and Ro and another lady will
Yes.
be featured on April the 6th, right?
Yes.
No,
April
Yes.
5th.
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 Yeah. Mhm.
Yes, April 5th at Heart and Soul Bookstore
All right.
on Lingelstown. Yes. And we will be at open stage on the 24th. But I don't have a
nice.
flyer for that yet. So
Okay.
we'll be at Open Stage Theater, I guess it is, on the 24th. So
Now, will it just be you doing poetry, or is it going to be another something
yes.
part of the event?
No, poetry.
Nice. Excellent.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Open Stage
yeah.
is a nice venue. Yeah.
Yeah, I've not been, but I'm looking forward to it. And of course,
You'll
as
like
you
that.
guys know, wherever I go, I carry you guys with me. So
I
I'll
appreciate
be
that.
sending a shout out to you and telling people to come and check us out.
Now, I noticed that the 5th is a Friday, and so I'm conflicted. You know, I would love to be there, of course.
Yes.
There's some
Yes.
ladies at the same
Yes.
time. Maybe you figure out a way to maybe do like a remote
Absolutely.
dual thing or something. I don't know. But also, how about the
Absolutely.
how about the other date, the one at the open stage? Is
The
that
24th. That's a
24th?
Sunday.
That's a Sunday. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
that's
Okay.
next week Sunday. Yes.
All right. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah,
Now
so
you
we're
said,
looking forward to it.
you just say April the 24th, right?
No, March.
Oh, March the 24th. Nice.
March the 24th. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have to get it in while the getting is good.
And what's the ticket price on the one at the open stage?
I don't know. No, that's interesting.
Okay.
I don't know. I was just gonna show up. I hope I'm not standing outside doing poetry.
That may even be better. What you talking about?
You're right. You got a good point there. I got a megaphone. I can make it happen.
There you go. Just need the backdoor prop. Me and Neil might need to sneak in, you know.
I got you. Don't worry. We know how to do that.
Do it at theaters back in the day.
Just yell out a hootie hoo.
Yeah.
Hey, Lizelle.
Hi, good night.
Yeah.
All the rumors in the house.
Yes. Well, we're gonna get packed up here. You know, it's something about being in the store or in the mall when it closes. And as a kid, we would be in the store and they'd say, you know, attention shoppers, the store will be closing. And my mother would still be shopping, and lo and behold, here I am in the store after it's closed. So I'm gonna get us out of here, get us packed up, and so we can get back out here tomorrow and do it again.
All right. Excellent. Well, you know, sell those books. Yay.
Absolutely. We're doing good.
All right. Fantastic.
All right. Well, we will talk to you guys later. Okay. Absolutely. Take care.
All right. See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Zazil, Dr. Dan is on, you know, and Dan, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Excellent. Okay. And also Brother Neil Owens, he's with us. He just stepped away, I see. Looking good, Zazil. How you doing?
I'm good.
I like the hat. The hat accentuates.
Yeah.
You know, it's cool.
My hair is round, folks.
It's cool. It's real cool. Dan, how you doing?
Okay, thanks. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Yes, indeed. So, listen, we're going to do some readings, of course, because that's what we do. When you guys come on in particular, I hope that you both have something that you want to read tonight. And Dan, since you were on first, I'm going to ask you if you'll read something for us.
Okay,
Brother
sure.
Neil read something earlier. Very good. Okay.
Okay. This is one of my earlier works called Whose Poetry?
Okay.
Where does it say that poetry has to rhyme or have perfect meter and flow to be considered as such? Where does it say that poetry has to convey a message or make some potent in-your-face statement to be effective as much? Where does it say that the authors of poetry are derived from upper-tier intellectuals or urban hip-hop rapper wannabes to have that universal touch? The time is long overdue for poetry to be looked at as something that is shared with no hidden or overt agenda. Let's take a step back from the hype-driven overkill and move towards other poem types, which are of a more innocuous vein and lack any type of vendetta. Let's have more poems about persons and things that really have no axis to grind with anything or anyone in creation. Who knows? Perhaps this more mundane type of poetry could have the utmost potential to make sweeping changes across the nation. Poetry of this type also deserves to be heard because, like all of the written works read aloud, these too qualify as the spoken word.
All right. Appreciate you. Good piece there, brother, Dr. Dan Snowden. I remember that piece. That's a good one for you. Thank you, man.
Oh yeah, that was the second one I wrote. The second one I wrote in the Wordshop.
All right. Fantastic. Okay. And Nazil, so
Hi.
glad that you're on again. And I hope that you have another piece. And I know, let me guess, you wrote something today.
Yes.
All right. You didn't disappoint. That's excellent. Okay.
This is something that I saw is today, boy. I think I was on the bus traveling. I think it's today, yeah, early on today. So I just wrote about it.
Mhm.
I named this one Her Face Screwed Up Because He Carried the World.
Hmm.
So it goes like this. The bus stopped. I look at her, twisting her face like a ring mop. She is not in a position to judge. He took his time to get on the bus. Man, this man is so big. As he placed his walker first, then he pulled himself up, taking his time to the seat. She looked upset. I could have sworn her lip would have touched my glasses. The way how she stoops. Thank God her teeth didn't fall out. Thank God he's not sitting on you. I watched on as the woman just stared fixed at him. The man, uneasy, with a pleasant face, just a lot of weight. It's his struggles. It is his pain. Would I be able to walk normal again? I think this is what he must have said to himself. He looked so sad from his trials. The bag filled with his life, filled with his insecurities, filled with his sadness, filled with his brokenness, filled with his emptiness. It's a heavy load to carry on his back as it chokes him. He have the world on his shoulders because he feels insecure and unwanted. Why am I here? Why do I go through this torture? He sees his problems, but it's taking time to fix. The walker helps him get around. That's his friend. That keeps them bonded together. It's his lifeline. It's his trust. She doesn't know about that. She don't know about friendship. All she's studying is ackee and saltfish with breadfruit. and maybe green bananas, and she push out she mouth. He ignores the stares as he sits and waits for his stop, trying his best to be calm as the world watches on.
Okay, if he's on there.
Brother Dan, if you're talking, you gotta mute yourself, buddy. Thanks. That was excellent. That was good. Wow. And that was all in a bus, right? In this
Yeah, the
observation.
guy, I normally see him traveling on the bus, but he has a lot of weight, so he used this walker to help him.
Mm-hmm.
So when the bus stopped and he was coming on the bus, this lady, she was, she ready to, she upset, she got upset.
Wow.
And her mouth she stretched out her mouth, and I said, look how this woman getting on, because the bus have to wait until he comes on properly. And she's getting all mad because of that. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna write about this.
Right on. Good for you. That's a good piece. I would go back to Dr. Kamika. There's the theater of life, right? The audience and the performers.
Exactly.
Those two people interact. That's good. Wow. Good stuff. Good storytelling. You may have to take a page out of Neil, start writing some novels here. Yeah. That's all right.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I love to, just change it around, be a little dramatic, so, to make it.
I thought about you yesterday. My wife and I were sitting here talking about something, and she started reading something, and it talked about Trinidad and Tobago and a couple other things. But I said, "Oh, Trinidad." I said, Lazille's from there and everything. And of course, you met my wife when you came down, for the and everything. And so she said, "Yeah, I wonder how she's doing." I said, "Well, I talk to her all the time. She's doing fine. She comes in the Writer's Workshop, and everything." So
I have to give her a buzz. Yeah.
Are you still doing your paintings by any chance?
Well, yes, I actually I have to next week, Saturday, the African American Museum. I will be showcasing my artwork there.
Oh, nice. What's going on there next Saturday? You say next Saturday?
Yeah, on the 23rd.
So what's happening at that event? I mean, what
well, it's a different artists coming together to display their work. There will be poems, there will be recital of poems and stuff. So that's a nice event.
Sounds
to
like
showcase your talent, because they are trying to, the museum has been going on for a long while, but they wanted to change the pieces that is there and bring in new artists, bring in new people to show their work. So I guess this is a start of it.
Yeah. That's great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're going to be part of that.
I did some new pieces, but I forgot to take some of them. I forgot to take the pictures, but I'll take the pictures when I go. So
okay, good. Right on. Brother Neil, I don't know if you wanted to read another piece. You did a great job for us. Neil and I was kicking it for the first hour, and then you read a piece and everything. And that reminds me too, by the way, we also saw a wonderful video from Amanda Gorman. So what I'm going to do first is see if I know Brother Chris always brings up at least 4 videos for us each night. See if he'll do another video, and then we'll come back and ask Brother Neil if he'd like to share. He'll share after the next video then.
Dr. Gasson, did you want the other video by the other poet laureate or no?
Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, area. Okay, good. Thank you.
As the day in one snowy quiet turns to the evening, where branches brush 100-year-old panes, I am ever amazed with how the quotidian forms my concepts of beauty. The ravens along one river bed rushing into itself, the rocks along another. Ideas emerge as innocent and surprising as bubbles blown from the stone wand of the invisible. from handwork to visual art to text. The world asks me if I am poet enough to translate what I see and experience. Is there some reflection of the intimate in the landscape, and how do I make something already seen or felt by so many into something new, into something strange? And so my process begins, alone or at a desk or in thought, where I take to my journal and relate what I've seen and read, and most importantly, ask questions of myself about both. If the work wanting to be written begins with some sort of interrogation, I'm sure to ask again and again through drafting and through periods of rest. The questions and ideas do not flee. They strengthen and reason and eventually become what will be part of something much larger than itself. May it be so for all of us. Kafkaesque. The real hero in the metamorphosis was Greta, Gregor's sister. She found a way to avoid the snares. Who wants to deliver spoiled milk to a roach every morning? Right now, there's a mouse in my kitchen. I've set down arsenic, but he's too wise. Whatever he wants, he'll find substitutes. He can wait for his French Revolution, the guillotine tomorrow. Or maybe there's enough to form a union. Or maybe they figured when Jimmy Hoffa didn't come back, they didn't want smoke. I'm the FBI to Stuart Little's mafia. They know when I'm trying to frame them. They slink around those traps, find cheese laughable. They get thick on Kool-Aid crystals sunken into the grout. Like that sweet, better than that savory. They know what they want. Smarter than me. See, my desires fleet, but I'll Pavlov dog it every time. Ring the bell, give me a shock. Ring the bell, give me a scrap. Ring the bell, I'll stink bug it. We'll climb the same wall to find the same SWAT, crushed by habit. But let's not get into the mechanics of what's slowly killing me. Today, I'm trying to murk these bastards, and they at least know not to fall for the same trap twice.
Heavy duty. And that was Arias Matthews. She's the poet laureate for Philadelphia. That's my first time actually hearing her, and she has some deep, imagery and metaphor there. Powerful sister. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
She has a different type of voice, I believe. What'd you guys think of that?
Powerful.
Mm,
Very powerful.
mhm. Yeah, you're still muted, Neil. Mhm,
I found it very different.
mhm.
Sort of a very different, unique style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could say that.
Yeah, not what I expected at all, but
Yeah,
good, Yeah. Huh. Mhm. Yeah. So Neil, did you want to read a piece for us?
okay. This is another different scene. And here you go.
Yeah.
The sheriff of Campbell County was with a caravan of militiamen drove onto the Indian reservation with intentions to intimidate and parked in front of the welcome center. They quickly exited the vehicles as if they had someone in mind to capture. The Indian chief stepped out of the building, unafraid. Sheriff, we don't have Jews here. Who said I was looking for Jews? You wouldn't be here with the militia if you weren't. That's what I don't like about you savages. You think you're smarter than the white man. The chief kept his mouth closed and stared with passive eyes. We need to search the reservation. This is sovereign land. You can't arrest anyone here without a warrant. I can arrest whoever I want, whenever I want, warrant or no warrant. If you try to prevent me from searching, I would arrest you and every savage here. Comprehend? Comprende? go ahead and search so I can enjoy watching your frustration when you finish. One way or another, it won't be a waste of time. The sheriff turned to the caravan and said, do a thorough search. Took out his gun and pointed it at the chief. Let's see who enjoyed the search more. Screams and cries were in the background as the chief stood with eyes locked on the sheriff's smirk. Your children are calling you, the sheriff mockingly said. If you turn your head, I will shoot you. I want you to hear and smell what the white man is doing to your reservation and the people on it. You and your people better not be here when we come back. If you are, your bodies will lay to feed the vultures and wild animals. After nearly an hour, the militia leader said to the sheriff, there aren't any Jews here. The sheriff replied, but they are Indians, so we didn't waste our time. As the caravan prepared to leave, the sheriff stared at the chief and said, don't wait to be told by the president to leave the country. He has already told you. The chief kept a closed mouth and used his eyes to speak his salty discontent. The sheriff said, I see more than 300 years of hate for the white man in your eyes. But we hate you more. Remember that. The sheriff and the caravan militia drove away as fire circled the reservation, and painful groans was the sound for many. I'll stop there.
Wow. Yeah. You know that movie that's out right now on something, I forget the title, the Moon, something Moon. We saw it and how they took advantage of the Indians, especially once the Indians realized they had oil and they, you know, and they stole the land and the whole 9 yards. That's powerful stuff, man. You know, more and more stuff is being written about the way the Indians were treated. And that was right on money in terms of how arrogant, nasty, vicious they were towards the Indian, you know? He said, like, boy said, I'll arrest you anytime I want, anywhere I want. It's so true. You don't care about no law. Back in the day in particular, like, what? I am the law. What are you talking about? The Constitution and everything else under the sun. Man, oh man. Funny stuff, but well done though. Well done. Yeah, so all right. And that's the book that's coming out, right? That's the one you
Yeah, that's the one coming out September, maybe late August, but it'll be out by September.
All right. Good, man. Good. Yeah. And Neil's kept us with some previews of it, excerpts from it for months now. So we're looking forward to the actual release. And you know, once you release that, how are you going to have a big release party? You know, what you gonna do?
Well, I am I'm definitely gonna come on The Voice. I mean, that's where I want to do it at.
Excellent. Okay.
So I wanna go on The Voice. So that's where I'll be. So that's where I'll release it at there.
Okay. Good. And
I'll get with Chris, and as the time get closer, schedule. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Good stuff. I know. Yeah, that's excellent. Glad to hear that. You know, that'll give more people from around the world, literally, an opportunity to see it and be a part of it, you know? Good. All right. Well, let's do, I know I'm going to keep a check on the time one more time. What time is it, folks?
8:41.
8:41, okay. So, brother Dan Snowden, I'm going to come back to you, my brother, and see if you have another piece you'd like to share with us, and then I'll go back to Lazille, and we'll probably do another video before we go off the air here. And those two were just excellent. Both of those were poet laureates, Amanda Gorman and looks like Arias Matthews, I think. Yeah, so good stuff. Dan, are you still there? You may be muted, Dan. Dan, maybe he's gone. Maybe he had to leave. I heard him talking at one point. And so I asked him to mute himself.
Yeah, he was struggling. He was struggling with connection.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the Zill was presenting, I heard him kind of, you know. So, okay. Well, let's go back to the Zill powder then. And by the way, tell us more about the powder room. What did you talk about last week, the Zill?
Just I spoke about, what did I spoke about? I think it was Women's International stuff, and as women, how we need to be uplifted and stuff. It was just more centered around women.
Okay, yeah. And tell us about the program itself so people know what's coming on and everything.
All right. I want to invite the writers workshop to come. I don't know who will be
Okay.
available to come on and talk.
Yeah.
It's the powder room. It's every Saturday from 11:30 to 12.
Okay.
I share poems, I share art. I talk about different things of life in general, pertaining to
Great.
art, pertaining to the poetry and stuff.
Excellent, excellent. So I would love to come on sometime and bring, hopefully other writers would as well.
Yeah,
Tomorrow would not work only because I do a chaplain's training program from 9 o'clock into 12. And
yeah,
so we have a whole class of people, we'll be doing that. But any other Saturday could work, pretty good for that. So yeah, and but congratulations, good stuff, real good stuff. Did you have another piece you want to read for us?
yeah. Let me just pull it up.
Yeah.
Okay, this is really a picture prompt that I have to submit. They show the picture and I just wrote about it.
Excellent.
It's called Elevation into the Spiritual Realm. My friend, she's my friend of another world and time. You got to get cleaned up, she said. I have to pick some bush, she said. The bush from the backyard to heal and to boil and to drink. I want it to be cleansed. I see another part of heaven, ready to be dipped into the scented oils as the water poured. I was ready to be seen and to see, but see what? The spirits, the dead men walking, ghosts, but seeing inside my soul, the light, the cleansing bath flowed from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. Smell the sweet fragrance as it lingered, making acquaintances with my body. I was wrapped up in a daze as the water slipped into my pores, seeking out my anatomy. A silence, a pause created a fusion of peace. My eyes saw the shields and dunes. I was elevated in another world and time, like my friend. They stood there as I embraced them, felt their warmth. They are my shield, I am protected. As my feet walked in the air, they understood my language and welcomed me. That's it.
As my feet walked in the air, they understood my language and welcomed me.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty good writing.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
It's a picture prompt with 4 stones in the air and the dunes, the desert, like a desert. So you have to make, create a story.
But no, well said though. Well said. Very good.
So I put it in a way. I have a friend, really. She is a spiritual person, and they have some people where they say they're born with a veil.
Yeah.
Meaning that they could see the spirits. So she's something like that. So I put it in a sense that she said, well, I need cleansing and all the stuff in order to go into this spiritual realm to see the dunes and the stone. So I just wrote it in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I got the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dan is back. Is he there? He's on mute, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why I can never see that. Anybody else can see that?
I mean, yeah.
You can see that
He's
kid
on mute.
back in. I can't even see
I
that.
don't know. He
looks
Yeah,
like
he's on mute.
Unmute yourself, Dan. I hope he can hear us.
I think he having some technical problems.
Oh, okay.
Could be.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. It happens, believe me, I've been through it myself. Yeah, so in fact, we were fortunate, we had a power outage up here, big time. And it went off and came back on, went off, came back on. So anyhow, it affected the computer. And our daughter finally figured out what was going on. And I don't know if it was gonna be on tonight, but she figured out the thing and got it going and, we were in good shape. So you just never know, you know? Yeah. But for the most part of the day, it was down. The monitor just wouldn't stay on. And she figured out it was something happened. I don't know. You know. Anyhow. So one of the things we hope to do on April the 20th is to have a big celebration. We're going to try to do it on Facebook Live, and we'll figure out how to make that happen and all that good stuff. April the 20th is a Saturday. And yeah, Brother Chris, can I have you come back on once real quick? Saturdays, you're already booked up on Saturdays, is that correct?
Normally until about maybe 1 or 2. Some Saturdays it fluctuates because I have a
Okay,
client that's a contractor and sometimes they have work and sometimes they don't.
yeah.
So I reserve their 1 o'clock slot in case they do want to broadcast. But if they don't want to broadcast, my last program is actually Lazelle's program, so it'd be around 11:30 or 12.
So if we want to do something in the afternoon and contract with you to do something, live and all kind of stuff, and it would be more
Sure.
of a yeah, okay, well we may talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, if it was anytime after 2 or so, that
Oh
would
yeah,
be
it's definitely after
ideal.
two.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that would be fine. Yeah, we would just have to plan it. And I'd have to get it on the books and just make sure I'm there to meet and greet you guys and go from there.
Excellent, fantastic. Okay, well, let's talk about that. We'll see what we can come up with. All right,
Sure.
real good. Uh, excellent. Yeah, we have a big program on the 20th. It'll be hopefully the first annual kind of celebration where we honor writers and have a workshop and do an open poetry reading. Just a blast. It's a real nice time. And we'll try to have it on like we do here on Zoom and Facebook and all that. So if you guys wanted to participate, you could, that kind of thing, without having to travel all the way down here to Zille. you know, or especially
That would be good
yeah,
to
yeah,
participate.
especially from North Carolina too. How many hours would it take you from where you are in North Carolina to Harrisburg, Neil? Any idea?
Um, I'm not sure. I mean, it's, guess it's probably in the realm of 4 or 5 hours, maybe.
That's all? Okay.
I think it's somewhere in there, 4 or 5 hours,
Four
something
or
like
5 hours.
that.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I know it's at least two to DC from Harrisburg, at least two, probably 2.5. So from Harrisburg to DC, it'd be about two. How about from DC to was it High Point, right?
Yeah, High Point. It's like about 3.5 hours it take me to get to DC from High Point. So I'm thinking maybe like 5 hours. Depends. Maybe about five
Yeah.
hours or
Yeah, you may
probably
be right.
something like
Okay. Yeah, about five. Okay, cool. All right. Good. I know from New York. Of course, you take the train down when you come right to Zille.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I love taking the train. It's so much easier just to lay back. You got all the
Amtrak
stops.
train.
Yeah, I mean driving that. Sheesh, I will do it, but it's like, come on, give me that train any day. Lay back and kick back. Yeah, I see. But New York is off out of control all of a sudden. And Dan, I'm gonna get to you to do a poem. So if you can think of one, and is he still there? Is Dan still there?
He's still
That's right. We were
muted.
having difficult. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking he was listening in, but okay. Well, anyhow, I see where you had the National Guard guarding your subway system, and then they still had a big shooting up there.
Yeah, I heard that today. I was like, wow. So
Oh
I
no,
don't know
that's
if the
great. Yeah.
guy died or if he's in critical. I don't know.
Well, I know he's in critical, but I'm not sure if he died. But he got shot twice in the face, 2 times in the neck, and I think one time in the torso or something. That was his gun too. He's the one that pulled the darn gun out, and the guy was able to get it away from him.
Got
Yeah,
shot with his own gun.
yeah, got shot with his own gun. He's beating the crap out of this guy. and he gets the gun out, and then it looked like a woman ran up and stabbed him a couple times in the back, or with something. She hit him a couple times, and he
It's
turned around and
crazy.
he had his gun. And but somewhere along the line, in the scuffle, he drops the gun, and the guy got the gun, and they said they're not going to charge him. Said it was clearly self-defense. So hey, yeah. So, but yeah, man, it's crazy up there right now, Lizelle. Be careful. Jeez. They said the fights breaking out all over the place in the subway system, and
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
Even
Yeah.
back home in my country, it's really crazy over there too.
Oh, really?
With
That's
the,
right. You
the
were just
just
there.
found this couple, like they abused their kids. One
Yeah.
of the daughter was buried since 2017. She died. They put a bullet to her head and buried her in the backyard.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And the other children were locked up. So both mother and father, they hold them. So I was like, what?
I know. I know. Yeah, all
It's
over the world.
nonsense.
Just absolutely going crazy. Man, oh man. Look at what's happening in Haiti. Oh my goodness.
Well,
Haiti.
they are saying they believe in so much of necromancy stuff. That's why it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody is saying, because they
Say it again.
never stop.
What kind of stuff?
Necromancy, like voodoo and witchcraft
Oh,
and
okay.
things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know they're trying to get the government to change to get, and the one guy did resign, I understand, but they said such a
He
mess
can't
of,
himself come back to the country. He's somewhere. The last thing I heard, he was in Puerto Rico.
is that right? Okay. Mhm. Yeah. Well, unbelievable, but I know they asked all the US citizens to evacuate, and they were trying their best to get out, but some of them were stuck. They showed where they were just stuck. It is what it is. Yeesh.
It's really
Yeah.
crazy.
Really crazy. Well, again, I want to remind people that on March the 30th, we're going to have our Easter egg hunt. It's the day before, Easter, and it's going to be a Saturday, from 12 until 5 down at 900 South Arlington Avenue. And we're going to have a ball. We had a great time last year. We might want to make it bigger and better this year for the kids, for the whole family. And I have to admit that last year we were just really thrilled with the way the families responded. People came out from everywhere. And we had the bouncy house, we had the Easter bunny, we had all kinds of vendors and, music playing and activities. And so we hope to recreate that and even bigger this year. So please put that on your calendar. It's a free event. And we're going to have all kinds of candy and Easter eggs and all that stuff for the kids. And I think the first 100 young people get a free basket. And so, yeah. And if you have a basket and you just want to come out with your own basket, because the kids they were picking up that candy, boy. I mean, they were into it. And so it's a lot of fun. And we always have poetry, no matter what we do, we always have the poets featured. And so it's gonna be outside. And so you can't miss it, 900 South Arlington Avenue. So please come on out. Come on out and have some fun. And last year we were really pleased to see so many quote unquote dignitaries come out with their children and just had a ball. They really got into it. So yeah. And again, hats off to Nicole Wilkerson, who's our events planner. She does a great job in conceptualizing a lot of this stuff and helping us to make it happen. And by the way, the name of her organization is Nicole is Making It Happen. She's a Howard University grad, and she is really into consumer advocacy. So she's always talking about deals and steals that are out there, especially in a tough economy. And so you want to listen to and follow Nicole is Making It Happen on Facebook and other platforms and see what she has cooking for all the deals and steals that she is able to. And she goes directly into the stores and broadcasts from the stores. And she's made all kinds of connections to these store owners, places like, CVS and all of that. And they will help sponsor events with the Writers Workshop like they do for, a couple things that we do. But anyhow, it's a good thing, good collaboration. And also another thing that we looking forward to is the Harrisburg Police Athletic League. I just talked to Dr. Charles Stewart, who's the executive director. You have a new location now, and the location was really kind of run down. It was given to them And boy, did they go in there and fix that place up or what? I mean, his wife in particular just did a bang up job, he said. He said, I was kind of, call myself supervisor, and he said, but she really kicked it. And to see from what it was to what it is now. And now they've turned their attention to the baseball field. They have a big league baseball field out there that was given to them as well. And so they're now working on that, and hopefully sometime this summer we'll be doing some things with the Harrisburg Police Athletic League, doing some poetry from there and having some events for youth. I'm hoping that people really embrace that because it is the possibility, the potential is really great for their new location. Off the beaten path, but very, very nice, very nice. The other thing we're looking forward to having is a riverboat cruise down the mighty Susquehanna River. They had the Pride of the Susquehanna, and hopefully we're going to have a big poetry event on the riverboat cruise like we did a few years back, and just have some fun with that. So we'll tell you more about that as well. And again, we're gonna, don't forget that also Brother Chris has set up a wonderful TV. Brother Neil, I know you wrote it down. What is it called again? TheVoiceTV.org? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's I wrote it down. It's
this Brother Chris.
voicetv.org.
Yeah, voicetv.org. And
Yes, sir.
Chris, you brought it up for us and showed us some of the things. It's not just Life Esteem the Wordshop. There's like 21 different
Yes,
groups.
sir.
Is that what you
Channels
said?
on the network. Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
21 different channels. And so, and a lot of programming then, that's going on. And so, yeah, excellent, man. We appreciate you pulling that up and making it happen. And we got to drive more people to it. But you said the numbers have been good, though.
Actually, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, I'll send them to you actually from the website, so you
Thank
can
you.
take a look at them. So yeah, it is moving. Having a great time on Saturdays working with Lizelle and the Powder Room as always, as well as Wendy and Let's Talk About It. She's been away the past 2 weeks, with the pop-up events, but that's a great thing.
Oh, yeah.
Look forward to having her back coming up this Thursday as well.
She's
7
on Thursday. That's right. She moved to Thursday nights. Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And I understand Brother Neil's already talked to you about having the
Whoop,
book
whoop, whoop,
launch.
whoop. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
been
yeah.
talking about a year now, so we're waiting to make that
Yeah.
reality as well. Working with Brother Neil,
All right.
just
Sounds
sharing his
good.
wonderful gift
I
and
have to
passion
tune in
with the
to see
world as
that.
well. Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Well, we'll make sure we make a big deal about it when he's ready to make that step of faith.
Yes, indeed. And we got to tune into the Zill. We got to get on the Zill show and talk that up. That's good
Yeah.
stuff, Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, indeed.
I like to come on this show. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of
Let's do that.
course.
Why don't you do that?
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome. Make it happen. Make it
But
happen.
you,
Talk to
and we,
Lizelle. She's in full
Say
control. You just handle all the
whenever
technical
you're
aspects
ready.
of it.
but she's on tomorrow, man. If you got it, you got the time tomorrow from 11:30 to 12, right, Zill?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have time to tune in, man, why don't y'all hook up? I know I can't do them because I had that class, but that would be great if you could go on tomorrow, Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have I'm going to DC tomorrow, but I'm not leaving until 12, so
Oh, okay.
I should be able to do that.
Zill, you might want to give him the information then how to get on, or somehow, I
Sure.
guess once you get off the air here, you
Yeah.
can give the call letters and stuff. And by the way, I like that dashiki, my brother. That is good,
Oh, thank you,
man.
sir. I learned from the best, though.
I was gonna work mine tonight, and then I didn't do it. And here you got on this nice dashiki.
I had on a white tee all day long, so I just
Yeah.
threw this on so I look presentable, just in case I had to be on camera. So
good.
thank you,
It
thank
looks
you much,
good,
man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found something. This brother sent me something that's outstanding, and I don't even have my phone with me right now. And it's an African American brother who has a podcast, and he's doing all these episodes, and it's really about the Black community, Black history. Man, I mean, outstanding. And so I will make sure I'll get that information and I'll pass it along so that you guys will be able to tune into it. But yeah, I want you to check that out, and hopefully I can send it to you by way of what is it, Messenger? I'll just send it to you. Because that's how I sent it to me. And so you may want to check that out because it's just good information and he interviews some really dynamic people who are, as they say, unapologetically Black.
Wow.
They're not even trying to pretend that they're not. But anyhow, check it out. Brother Chris, thank you for the videos, man. You do a great job of bringing us some outstanding stuff. Yeah,
I had an awesome one by Maya Angelou, but I'll save it for next week since we're a little bit late on time.
By the time, what time is it right now?
It's probably about 2 after 9 now.
Okay, well then we gotta wait till next week, folks.
Well, I
That's
mean,
the
it's
way
2 minutes, so it's not really that long. But I'll save it for next week. No worries at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they save it for next week. We're good. Yeah, we'll save it for next week. Because I'm hungry and I gotta go.
Understood.
But
No worries at all.
I'm only joking. But
And
anyhow,
Giselle,
y'all
let
have a
me
great day. Uh-huh.
yeah, send me you know Facebook or whatever. Send me the link how I get on the powder room.
I think Chris has made.
Yeah, I'll send Lizelle the Zoom link when the program concludes tonight, and she can forward it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
All right.
So yeah, feel
Okay.
free to log in about 11:15, but we'll talk about that off air here.
All
right.
right.
That's excellent. Excellent.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
God bless
All right.
everybody.
Good night.
Next time. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, nice. Yeah. All right. Bro. Hey, Maria. Okay, bro. That's her book. Thank you, bro. All right.